trouble in paradise, guys. Man, you know, they call it the first 2 weeks. Well, I guess the first week for me. They call it the honeymoon phase because you feel great, right? Well, on day 9th, I'm on day 12 now. So on day 9th, I ate some hamburger meat. It's just like ground beef, right? So, man, I feel like it was like the links are on here, right? So it started like getting like piled on in my esophagus, piled, and then a huge pain. I felt like a huge pain because it was stuck, right? Like the meat. So I did the worst thing I could do. I grabbed water. I mean, in my discharge paper says not to do this. I did it anyway because I'm stupid. So I got water and I chugged it, trying to like push it down. Man, worse. The pain was insane. So I put my hands over my head, man, and until like walked around until it like went through. But the pain, and I felt it pushing into like, you know, into the links or the sphincter here, it wouldn't go through. Man, horrible. So on the next day, I started feeling weird. Right? So I'm scared I popped my stitch or something on the hiatal hernia, or I damaged the links device. I'm worried about that. We'll get to that later. Let me see. Yeah. So the next day I was feeling like weird. I started getting like a bitter taste in my mouth. I have my notes here so I don't forget. My mouth started like filling up with saliva. You know when you're about to throw up and your mouth starts filling up with saliva from over here, from these glands. So you feel it from the back to the front with saliva, but also like a bitter taste. Man, and I felt like in my esophagus too, like a burning in my esophagus. I was like, oh crap, man, the reflux is back, right? I was like, oh, no way. I've gone through all this, no way. You know, what else did I feel? I felt like the heartburn feeling, bitter taste in my mouth, like I used to have when I had like bad heartburn, right? I had like some pangs in my stomach. Let me see, and I have like pain still when I breathe in. When I take a deep breath, I feel like the tip of my sternum where the links should be, right? And of course, I got scaly skin. I don't know if you can see it. I got some little scaly right here, but that's because I'm just dehydrated. I don't drink enough water. Because when I drink water, I get like bad like burps and stuff, and I've been like kind of like scared of it. But I should be drinking more water. Anyway, so on day 11, the next day I started feeling this kind of weird like nausea symptoms. Weird. I went to work. That was on Monday. So I went to work. I just sat around the office. I stood up and walked a little bit. Man, suddenly this wave of nausea. My mouth started filling up with like saliva. And this is usually, it happens when I eat. So before work, I like ate like a little bit of like a protein bar, but I crushed it, like made it a pulp. And it went easy. And man, I started feeling this like saliva piling up in my mouth. And I stood up and I felt green, like I turned green, you know, it's like a freaking frog. It's like feeling so bad, like nauseated. And then I would like breathe in and I feel like pang in my like sternum right here. I was like, oh, no way. And I felt like that burning in my esophagus, like not like before. The GERD or the acid reflux was so bad before. It felt like eating, like chewing on chili peppers and like washing it down with lava. So it felt like fire going all the way down, right? We didn't feel it, but it felt like an echo of what it was. And I was like, dang, my tongue is like green because I just had a lollipop. Anyway, so I felt like an echo of what it was. And I was like, what the heck, man? Not again, no way. So I called the doctor the next day, and that was, yesterday, yeah. I called the doctor, I left a message, and today they got back to me in the morning, and they tell me that it's probably the irritation, you know, of inside that I'm still like going through all that. It's a major operation. If you see the papers, the discharge paper says it's a major operation. So and I'm not the first case they heard about nausea. So they prescribed me the steroids, not like the Schwarzenegger steroids, but like anti-inflammatory steroids, sort of like inflamed inside, right? So I took one today, and I went to work, and I was walking around and everything, and I felt much better. I did feel much better. The nausea was like much less. The gas and all that was less too, and I could move around and even like try doing some squats while I was walking around. I was helping during class. I do martial arts. I have a martial arts school, so was helping around with the kids, you know, and some of the adults. But like, and then I felt good enough to like teach a move, right? So I like got on the ground and I twisted, and when I twisted, man, my incision here, I felt like I was gonna explode. And I was like, okay, dude. I had to stop. But I felt good enough to attempt it. All right, so I attempted it. So then my mind is working fine, and my body is recuperating. I'm just very impatient when it comes to my body. All right. So anyway, so when the doctor said it's like it's probably that my inflammation is hitting me hard. Also, the shoulder pain is still there. It's still there. A little bit less, especially when I walk around. When I lay down, if I lay down like this, man, it takes like 15 minutes and suddenly the shoulder pain starts going. So you know the phrenic nerves that come this way, I guess like the gas and everything starts pushing on it. And the nerves are here and the gas is pushing against it. So the nerve endings are right there. So once it pushes against here, you feel it in your shoulders. So it's probably the gas and everything's irritated inside. So anyway, so I started researching, right, especially about the heartburn. I told the nurse, I talked to a nurse earlier, and I asked her, and she was saying, yeah, your heartburn symptoms and everything. I was like, heartburn symptoms, I mean, if the links is so tight that for food to go through, it hurts like, man, you know, it's horrible, right? So it hurts going down, so it's so tight. How is like acid just gonna come up, you know? It's like, she's like, oh, good question. I'll ask the doctor. She didn't get back to me on that. But I researched. I'm gonna show you something real cool that they don't tell you. The doctors don't tell you this. I don't know why they don't tell you. This is from UCLAHealth, and I found it in other sites too, right? And this is what to know about common symptoms that can occur after links. I don't know why they tell you this right off the bat. Okay, this will help me a lot of peace of mind. Hiccups, I get those, you know, hiccups. I'll tell you about that in a minute. They say hiccups are most often caused by fluid on our food that has not passed out of the esophagus. So it's like so tight, and the fluids and everything gets stuck here, so you like hiccup, right? Your diaphragm starts pushing. The stomach is here, the sphincter is here, the links is all tight, and the fluids go in and they don't go through, so you start getting spasms and stuff. Typically, they will stop in a few minutes. They do. Wait until the hiccups have passed before continuing to eat or drink. Yeah, well, of course. Spasm, there, what I was talking about, the spasm. Chest tightness that can take your breath away. Yeah, when I breathe in, it hurts. And can occur during the recovery period. Typically, this will last a minute or so. Spasms are most often due to food getting stuck in the lower esophagus. So yeah, so like it's so tight here, the stomach is here, food gets there, and it's trapped right there, right? That's what causes the pain and everything. And so you start like hiccuping and everything to like move it around. But it can also occur on its own. All right, great. Although it can be very uncomfortable, it is not serious, great. As time goes by, it will happen less often and will be less severe. If after 4 weeks you are having spasms every time you eat, please make an appointment, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I mean, not even on week 2, I'm just very impatient and like, you know, very worried that, you know, I have no cure, right? If this fails, there's no cure because of fundoplication. Man, I don't know, man. Heartburn, this is a big one. It is a common symptom after surgery. Check it out. So a common symptom for heartburn surgery is heartburn. All right. So it's a common symptom after surgery. It is very unlikely this is due to reflux. That's what I was thinking. Heartburn can occur with esophageal irritation, which I have, of any type, including surgery, not just acid reflux. Heartburn can also occur after drinking acidic liquids like lemonade that don't clear right after swallowing. Well, I haven't been drinking lemonade, you know, but I've been like sucking these lollipops just to get some sugar in, and yeah, I kind of acidic, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, again, it's like closed in like this. The stomach is right there, the esophagus right there. So you start like swallowing like saliva and like all these fluids, and it gets packed in there, right? So yeah, when this like goes up the esophagus, it's like, and the esophagus is irritated because of all the stuff that's been going through the surgery and your previous GERD and everything. So yeah, you feel it like acid reflux, but it's not really acid. So it's not like going to aggravate my Barrett's or cause cancer. That's my main concern, right? So check it out. Regurgitation. There we go. Regurgitation. During the recovery phase, reflux or fluid within the esophagus, that's what I was talking about, reflux or fluid within the esophagus, and not from the stomach. You see, don't be alarmed if this happens. It should get better as the swelling goes down and swallowing improves. Saliva or liquid regurgitation usually happens because fluid is building up in the esophagus. That's what I was saying. Saliva can build up between meals and before going to bed. Eating 1 to 2 saltine crackers, and my book says, my discharge paper says don't eat crackers. I don't know. Eating 1 to 2 saltine crackers between meals and before bed will help absorb the saliva so the esophagus can push it through the links. It is very unlikely that you will need medication for acid reflux after surgery. Check this one out. In the future, if a provider, like if you go to your general practitioner or just your GI, your gastroenterologist, all right? In the future, if the provider wants to prescribe reflux medications, if they just want to give you PPIs again, or proton pump inhibitors, or you are concerned your reflux is back, please inform your surgeon. So you go instead of the regular doc to the surgeon, because they might just throw pills at you again, just like before. But it's the surgeon that needs to check. A pH test to check for reflux is strongly recommended before starting anti-reflux medication after surgery. Check it out. So they might wrongly prescribe you the PPIs again, and it's not even reflux anymore. It's just like saliva and liquid and everything and just irritating you again. And all this stuff I've been reading, they all should go away in time. I'm just very, impatient. I'm not even in 2 weeks, so give it a chance, right? I'm in that stage. Give it a chance, give it some time. I was reading some forums from 2018 of some guy that by the month mark for four weeks, he was having nausea and he felt the regurgitation going up and everything. So he went to his surgeon and told him, just get this out, get the links out, man. And the surgeon told him, listen, just calm down. Let's wait at least 6 months, and then let's reassess the situation. So, and they did the barium swallow test to check out how it was I feel everything's in place, swallowing right. And it came fine. And he says man, I was crazy. I wanted this thing out. I felt like the acid was back. And then he says, a couple months later, the symptoms were gone. The symptoms were gone, and everything was the irritation and what I thought was acid reflux was through, and I almost had them take it out, and everything went fine. So just give it time. I mean, it's like I said, it's categorized as a major operation, and patience, man. That's what I need to learn. So tomorrow I'm going to the doctor for my 2-week follow-up, even though tomorrow's day 13, but still, one day or whatever. But hey, what are you? Oh, she's playing with her little toy. All right, so I'm gonna get for a follow-up, and I'll make a video on that. Of course I won't be able to record the guy, so I'll just tell you what he said. Another part that is embarrassing, and this is a vlog about all my journey. It's a freaking nightmare. So my journey on the GERD thing and the LINX procedure and the hiatal hernia procedure. So it's embarrassing. This is about gas, right? And gas is man, I've never had so much freaking gas in my life, man. It's it just builds up. It builds up. You feel like a balloon, right? And you okay? You feel like a balloon. And when you walk around, man, you ever heard a lion roar? I'm not going rah, just imitating one. No, an actual roar, from the National Geographic, right? Like that. Man, you go rah, but it comes a huge wave from your stomach out. You don't even push it, but you feel really relieved, especially when I feel the shoulder, it feels relief. And you feel this tightness relieved. And I'm not eating food that is gassy at all. I don't know where it's coming from. It's just insane, So it comes out, suddenly, like a freaking wind, And then on the other side too, you get powerful, man. And it's like I said, it's embarrassing, but I never had this in my life. It's at all moments, you're walking, but not when you're laying down. Oh yeah, sometimes when you're laying down. But mainly when you're walking around, it's it goes either one way or the other way, but I don't know where it's coming from. It's like so much. It's insane, man. And so get ready for that. For example, man, these girls like to sleep under the covers, and I'm always like, I go, hey, sorry, girls, and oh man, they let it fly out the window, But anyway, so if you're like married, you have a husband or wife, man, you drop one of those and consider it a divorce, because man, it's like rough stuff, and you can't really stop, because it feels better once you do it, especially since you're like so like irritated inside, so you just blast off, man, and they're not very like nice either. I don't know what's going on in there, because it's like the smell, man. It's like the stuff they threw at Jews during World War II. I mean, that should be a crime against humanity, man. It's like, God, I don't know what's going on. It's like everything's out of whack in there, And I never had this. Even though like when I was like eating like protein drinks and like protein bars, and they give you like the bad ones, man, they pack a punch. And I'm not eating that much protein really at all, because I can't, because you just get stuck. I mean, I drink like a little like protein milk, a little bit, because I don't want to get too fat, because I'm not working out. Talking about working out, I think I'm gonna try doing some squats tonight. Just like no weight, just light, just to get my like mobility going. I noticed that when I was walking to work, I'm on the mat, and then there's like kids like sparring or doing their technique. Same with adults. And I walk around and correct them, or check if they don't bump into each other, help out with the moves. I noticed the more I walked, the more, the gas moved around, and like, man, I had to go to the bathroom, because I'm not going to do that to them, I'm not going to subject them to that, torture, So I will go to the bathroom back and forth. But I mean, it will take the pressure off, especially about my shoulder and the front. And I noticed the nausea is much less the more gas goes away. But I took my steroid pill too, but I noticed that the less gas you got, the less everything, So I'm gonna give it a, man, sorry about the subject, but it's part of the thing. It's part of it. So I gotta go over it. If I glossed over it because I was like, ashamed or whatever, or it's just, it's not a nice subject, but I'll be missing an integral part of the whole deal, and that's a big deal. The gas is just like, I don't know where it is. I mean, I know it's carbon dioxide that they pump you with, but does it like get in your blood and your muscles? How do you store it? I mean, when I got out of surgery, I looked pregnant with it, So, and they're supposed to suck it out. So I guess when they suck it out, it still gets trapped in chambers. But that's going away slowly, still a little bit. But the more you move, the better. So I'm gonna try to do some squats. No weight vest, no hand weights, just like soft, man, just like relaxed. And be careful with my stitches, because just twisting, almost did it. No, you have to twist really bad to do it. Just this doesn't do it. But if you twist real bad, man, you feel the stitches are about to pop, and you gotta be careful with that. But from all I've read, it's time. You gotta just be patient. And when you're feeling these things, I'm going to link this article from UCLAHealth.org. I'm going to link it in the description down below so you can check it. But just give it time. It's just, it's rough, you go through all this, and as soon as I feel a little symptom, I think that the whole deal is back, and there's no cure, and my parents are gonna get worse, and I'm gonna get cancer, and I'm dead. So that's what goes through my mind, like in a loop. So as soon as some little thing goes wrong, but I have to understand that it's a major surgery, and if you're planning to do this, keep that in mind. It's a major surgery, man. They like sliced and diced you inside. I can't show I have a picture that they took from inside of me, and it looks like a butchery, man. I can't show you because they're gonna cancel my channel. It's just like gore, man. But it shows my esophagus and the Lynx device around it, and it's like all bloody, man. It's like, you see, like, it looks bad. But they really chop you inside, especially for the hiatal hernia and all that stuff. So yeah, give it time. I'll give it time. Tomorrow I'm gonna make a video with a doctor follow-up. Let's see what he says. I'm going to ask him all these questions about all the symptoms again, because I usually ask him again. I ask him like once on the phone, and then when I go to the appointment, I ask him again, just to catch him if he's he's on point, or there's no contradictions or anything. So stay tuned, and tomorrow there'll be more of this. Catch you guys later. We'll end this.